Get your equipment back first, or you won't be able to do much good. Rendezvous with that man and retrieve your gear. Raiden, rendezvous with that man. Go through the northeastern door and head north.
Okay, he seems relatively normal. It's not until you walk through this door you trigger him to, well, do this. This is where the game starts to go crazy.
Raiden, do you copy? You must continue your mission.
I've lost all my gear. I need to locate Snake.
He was never factored into the simulation. Leave him out of this.
I can't do much naked, especially in this temperature.
That's true. You won't be able to attack or enter the hanging mode either.
I think Snake has my gear.
Raiden, take out Solidus and his men. You must recover Arsenal intact.
Colonel, are you under orders from the Patriots?
Your role, that is, mission, is to infiltrate the structure and disarm the terrorists.
My role? Why do you keep saying that?
Why not? This is a type of role-playing game. The point is that you play out your part, and I expect you to turn in a perfect performance.
Colonel, I just remembered something.
What?
That I've never met you in person. Not once.
Complete your mission, according to the simulation.
Colonel, who are you?
No more questions. We have Rosemary.
What do you mean by that?
Over and out.
Okay. So this is where they, like, playing this as a kid, it was pretty spooky. I'm sure even for, like, people who didn't play this as a kid, maybe they were a bit older when they first played it, I'm sure it was pretty creepy for them as well. Oh, shit.
Raiden, turn the game console off right now.
What did you say?
The mission is a failure. Cut the power right now.
What's wrong with you?
Don't worry, it's a game. It's a game just like usual.
You'll ruin your eyes playing so close to the TV.
What are you talking about?
Raiden, something happened to me last Thursday when I was driving home. I had a couple of miles to go. I looked up and saw a glowing orange object in the sky, to the east. It was moving very irregularly. Suddenly, there was intense light all around me, and when I came to, I was home. What do you think happened to me?
Huh?
Fine. Forget it.
Oh, I almost walked into that guy.
Honestly, though, you have played the game for a long time. Don't you have anything else to do with your time?
Believe it or not, Colonel's best lines or Kodak conversations actually come during the fight with the Metal Gear Rays. If you call him doing that fight, he has some pretty funny lines. Shit. Uh-oh. Is he coming down here? But yeah, back in the day when you played this as a kid, Colonel like starting to act all weird was really spooky. I guess there's two responses you could have. Like, you'd either find it pretty funny or spooky, or both.
Infiltrate. The enemy.
That's the original Metal Gear, for those of you who don't know.
Destroy. The final weapon. Metal Gear.
Oh god. Get down, get down, get down. That's close. I guess that partially why this is so spooky is because it's an MGS game. You're not expecting this sort of stuff from it. So like, when this started happening back in the day, people were like, what is going on?
Even my patience has its limits. I just can't leave this thing up to you any longer. I'll do the fighting. You can just go home.
We haven't seen Skullfish yet either, when he does the skull thing, of course. That's completely random when it pops up, I think. Yeah, there it is.
Level 13. Rescue Meryl. The return of Ginola.
That's of course one of the VR missions as well. You have to do a boss battle with these giant genome soldiers. I believe those are Japanese train stations as well. There's a fun fact for you, in case you were wondering what exactly that means.
I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw Space with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carey Rock.
I need scissors. 61. That's probably the most famous one of them all.
An anemone or clematis plant's juice can cause a rash. When pruning them, it's a good idea to wear gloves. Actually, there is something I have been meaning to tell you, but I just couldn't. I think you should know, though. On Saturday morning last week, I saw a guy leaving Rosemary's room. How should I put it? It was like they were intimate. I'm sorry. Sorry to bring this up during the mission, but...
I know practically all of these word for word. This part of the game, I beat the game a million times, but this part of the brain is engraved into my memory forever.
President Baker should be somewhere to the
again.
south of where you blasted through the wall. Hurry and save him before the terrorists discover his code.
I wish I could just erase my brain and my memory and just play this game for the first time again. Such
Jack,
a good experience.
it's me.
Hi, Rose.
Jack, I owe you an apology.
If it's about
yes,
this
another
conversation
bombshell.
just now, I'm the one who's sorry.
No, it's something else.
What
This is actually quite dramatic as well, I think.
That day at Federal Hall 2 years ago, it wasn't a coincidence. I was ordered to keep an eye on you.
Keep an eye on me?
Yes, by the Patriots.
You're a spy?
I suppose. Yes. It's an ugly word. Are you still there?
Was sleeping with me a part of the job?
I fell in love with you.
How could anyone?
I can't excuse what I did. I've reported every detail of your personal life to them these 2 years. What you did, said, everything.
Must have been fun.
But some things I didn't tell anyone. Like what I felt for you.
So that's why you were involved in this mission. I should have known. Why else would they toss an analyst into the mix at the last minute?
I'm sorry. I know what I did was wrong.
No matter where I go, I get used.
I reinvented myself to suit your tastes. Hairstyle, clothes, the way I moved, things I talked about. You say you love the color of my hair, my eyes. They're not even real.
You must have gone over my psych profile with a fine-tooth comb.
It was my job.
Great performance. Had me completely fooled.
What I really wanted was for you to see the real me. It hurt to play out this artificial romance. It was worse to lie to myself than to you. The more love you gave me, the more it hurt. Because I knew the person you loved was just a character.
So it was artificial on my end, too. It was just a game, not the real thing.
Oh, Jack.
I feel better knowing that.
What?
I was in love, or thought I was, with someone who didn't exist. I was trying to be someone I wasn't by loving what wasn't real. I don't know who you really are. The person I knew isn't real. She's not the woman I'm talking to right now. In a sense, the deception was my own, not theirs.
Jack, I thought I was acting because that was my job. But I did fall in love with you. That wasn't an act.
You expect me to believe that? It's okay. You had your reasons, right? Hey, I understand, but I have nothing left to...
Jack!
What?
I'm carrying. I'm pregnant, Jack.
Rose, what's going on?
Amazing how you walk around like that.
Snake!
Been waiting long?
Where's my gear?
Right over there. That's more like it. Everything you had when you were captured is still there. Sorry about earlier. I had to use you as bait to gain access to Arsenal. It worked.
Why didn't you tell me about Olga?
You never asked. Not happy about that? Get over it.
Any effects of the virus yet?
Still waiting on that.
So, it was rigged by the Patriots?
Looks like it. From what I can tell, Arsenal is headed for Manhattan. I don't know what Solidus is planning, but we'll have to deal with it one way or another. There's also a troop of production model Rays ahead.
How many units?
25, according to Olga.
25?
Yeah. Can't say I've faced that many Metal Gears before, but I think we can deal.
No way we can.
We can, because we have no other choice.
How?
I've stocked up on Stinger missiles. Oh yeah, Olga left this for you.
Well, he has infinite ammo anyway, so does it really matter how many missiles he has?
Why?
Olga asked me to give it to you. Besides, I'm not a big fan of blades. Move the right stick up and down to make a vertical slice, and left and right to slice parallel to the ground. Move the stick in a circle to do a rotating cut. Push it forward to lunge and strike. You can guard with your blade if you have the L1 button pressed down. You should be able to deflect a bullet or two.
I'm not exactly sure what you have to do here in order to move on. It's not strictly time. It's not as if it's on a timer, or specifically on a timer, because I once left this scene AFK for a little while, for about 10 minutes, and nothing happened. Like, the game didn't progress. So I think you have to swing the sword a certain amount of times, I'm thinking. Maybe you have to do every single move a certain number of times, something along those lines. That's what I'm guessing. And of course, if you hit Snake, the obvious happens. He does actually have a dog tag, now I remember. Later on you can trank him, and then if you drag him and drop him, he'll drop a dog tag. We just gotta swing the sword until we can move on. Like I said, not sure what triggers it.
Come on, time to go. If you run out of ammo, you can have mine.
You got enough?
Absolutely. Infinite ammo.
Wait up, Snake.
What?
Snake, have you ever enjoyed killing someone?
What are you talking about?
I'm not sure. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between reality and a game.
Diminished sense of reality, huh? VR training will do that.
No, it was field training when I was a kid. I lied, Snake. I have more field experience than I can remember. It's not VR that's doing this to me.
Raiden, we don't carry guns to take people down. We're not here to help some politician either.
You can say that because you're a legend, a hero. I'm Jack the Ripper, a dirty reminder of a terrible mistake.
Legends don't mean a whole lot. I was just a name to exploit, just like you.
People will remember only the good part, the right part of what you did.
There's no right part in murder, not ever. And we're not in this to make a name for ourselves.
Then what are you and Otacon fighting for?
A future? You can stop being part of a mistake, starting now.
What am I? What am I supposed to do?
Find something to believe in, and find it for yourself. And when you do, pass it on to the future.
Believe in what?
That's your problem. Come on.
Snake, Raiden.
Otacon, you all right?
Yeah, so are all the hostages.
All of them?
That's good news.
How's everything on your end?
All right for now, but there is something.
What?
The Colonel's last transmission was strange.
Strange? How?
Just
As an
strange.
understatement.
No idea.
Interference?
I don't know.
Where is this colonel?
I don't know. I've never met the man, actually.
I'll dig around.
Thanks. I owe you one.
If there's anything else, call me on the codec. I might be able to help. The frequency is 141.12.
I'm not too fond of this bit right here. This is probably my least favourite part of the game, I'd say. And before we move on, I just want to call the Colonel a few more times. See if he's got anything amusing to say.
Variety level 7. Shoot down the Space Invader. Training will have to be postponed if we are invaded by UFOs.
I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
Snake, there's a fork in the conveyor belt. The machine is automatically sorting
I think I've
cargo
heard that one
according to
before.
some system. Take a good look at the device. Big Boss here. Enter the track on the bridge to the right. Over.
Okay. That was a quote from Metal Gear, the first one.
Communicator Entertainment Program, Idea Spy 2.5, Episode 1. New York. Here in the city where dreams come true and desires rule, something is being bought, sold, and thrown away, even as we speak. But behind the scenes of business as usual, the nefarious JE Corporation lines its already bloated coffers with profits from worthless products. As JE swindles yet another innocent into purchasing high-priced junk, the FBI mobilizes a top-secret task force to put a stop to the menace. Now, the city's best-kept secret spy is out there, briefed and ready to protect the people from JE, the catalog of conspiracy. Just call him 2.5. You got a PSG-1? You can use that against Sniper Wolf. Hurry up and save Meryl.
Alright, let's play it. Now, about the Big Boss Run, to repeat, in case you don't know what the Big Boss Run is, it's when you beat a Metal Gear Solid game on the hardest difficulty without using a healing item, without getting spotted, without killing a single person, without getting a single game over. I think that's all of the requirements. Oh, there's also a timer. You have to do it within like 3 or 4 hours. I think it depends on which game. But basically, that's it. Beat the game without killing anyone, without using a single ration, without getting spotted once, without dying once, etc, etc. And I would enjoy trying to do that, but the thing is, I would enjoy trying to do that, and I would try to do that if it wasn't for this sequence. Like here in MGS2, it sounds like it would be a fun challenge, but this is where like not killing anyone just becomes annoying. It sounds like it would stop being fun and just be annoying at this point. It's like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing that on this section. And on the harder difficulties, Snake dies very easily on this sequence. I think I'll take out my sword here. But on the harder difficulties, Snake will die very easily here. It gets to the point where I'm not sure what the exact strategy is when you're trying to do a big boss run, because like I said, you have to do it on the hardest difficulty. But it's something along the lines of, like, you have to constantly tranquilize Snake while... You have to constantly tranquilize him, then wake him up, then tranquilize him again. It just... At that point, it's not fun. It sounds like it just... At that point, it sounds like it would just stop being fun. It would be annoying. like, I think I would have fun doing a big boss run, going through the stealth segments, you know, just trying to be stealthy and finding the best route through all of the stealth segments. But when it gets to action set pieces like this, it just sounds like it would be boring at that point. Like, both boring and annoying and challenging, but not the good kind of challenge.
Raiden, about this colonel of yours. I found out where he is.
Where?
Inside Arsenal.
What?
I've checked out all the possibilities, but I keep coming back to Arsenal. It isn't a relay point, it's the origin of the signal. And the encryption protocol it uses is exactly the same as that of Arsenal's AI, the so-called GW.
What the hell does this mean?
I think it means you've been talking to an AI.
That's impossible.
The Colonel probably isn't GW per se. GW was most likely stimulating cortical activity in the dormant part of your brain through signal manipulation.
They could just say it's an AI,
nanomachines.
so like an
The
AI
Colonel is,
image
in
or
part, your
something
own
like that.
creation, cobbled together from expectations and experience.
They're going into all
That's
this
crazy.
technobabble
But
nonsense.
it's probably
Just say
the truth.
it's an
The virus may
image
be
that,
starting
you know,
to affect
the codec
GW,
is just an
which would
image that
explain
the
the
AI
Colonel's behavior.
created.
It was all an illusion? Everything I've done so far?
Raiden,
Snake, what's happening around here?
I don't know. What I do know is that you're standing right here in front of me. Not an illusion. Flesh and blood.
Huh?
It's your call. You can drop this if you want.
No, I can't do that. Let's go.
Okay, I think the memory on my video camera is starting to run low there. I can see an icon popping up. Yeah, I think that means low memory. I think I should give it a break at this point after this conversation.
Raiden, they've got Rose.
What?
Rose is being held in the holds.
It's a trap.
Rose!
Raiden, get a grip.
But Snake...
It's a trap. Since the Colonel doesn't exist, there's no way he can take Rose hostage.
Yeah, you're right.
I am right.
Okay. Does Rose exist?
Don't be weird. She's your...
What if I've never really met her?
What?
If the Colonel is something that I partly dreamt up, then everything I remember about her could be...
Don't jump to conclusions.
You and Otacon are the ones that say the Colonel never existed.
Raiden.
Is this what Olga was talking about?
Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. It's better save the game. Of course, Rose doesn't respond. Okay, this is the day after, back with a snazzy new haircut, and I'm ready to go. Okay, before we continue, Okay, I just had to quickly rearrange the camera slightly there. Anyway, let's continue on with the game. So, these things coming up with the fish and mailed. Those of you who play the game obviously know what I'm talking about. If you haven't played the game, you'll see in a minute what I mean with fish and mailed. But I think the fish and mailed thing, and, well, practically this whole entire Arsenal Gear segment goes to show that Kojima knows how to mindfuck with the player. He really knows how to catch the player off guard. And it just goes to show how awesome Silent Hills could have been. For those of you who don't know, Kojima was supposed to make the next Silent Hill game with Del Toro. But because of he had a falling out with Konami, no one knows the specifics yet, there's only rumours, but of course Kojima had a falling out with Konami, so they're never going to make Silent Hills anymore. But it just goes to show like how, how much potential Kojima has doing a horror game. He knows how to mess with a player's head like this. He could do some pretty creative breaking the fourth wall things, which, is a shame. So it's just a shame that it's never going to happen. So I think this MGS2, this Arsenal Gear sequence in MGS2 goes to show, it gives us a good idea of what Kojima could do with a horror game. I mean, all of the MGS games have their spooky moments, like the Sorrow in MGS3, or Psycho Mantis in MGS1. But this, you know, horror games don't have to be the conventional kind of stuff. They can break the fourth wall with this sort of stuff. I mean, if you ever played Eternal Darkness for the GameCube, you know how horror games can, you know, they don't just have to be spooky, you know, monsters coming at you. They can do stuff, like, they can mess with the save files and stuff like that. I've never played Eternal Darkness, by the way. I've just heard great things about it. I do own it, I've just never played it. And just like the previous section with the Tengu soldiers, I'm not a fan of this bit either. It just goes on and on and on. I don't find it too riveting. Especially on the harder difficulties, of course. Because then you gotta worry about Snake dying, which is pretty annoying.
Fortune.
It's been a long wait, Solid Snake. The root of all my sorrows.
What?
2 years ago, you killed my father. That was the beginning of hell for us. Everyone I love has been taken from me one by one, and no matter how hard I try, I can't follow them. An endless nightmare. The only thing we live for is to see it end. Our wait is almost over.
You can't be serious about firing the nuke.
Since no one can kill me, I may as well kill everyone I can. Starting.
She's talking about Scott Dolph, by the way. The guy that Ocelot killed on the tanker at the beginning of the game. That was her father. And of course Ocelot killed him, but she thinks Snake did it. Because Snake was framed for the tanker incident.
You want eternal rest? I've got it right here.
What are you gonna do? Bullets can't get near her.
I'll think of something. There's no such thing as a witch.
You think you can kill me?
I don't know what your group's been through, but let's get one thing clear. I didn't kill your father.
Do you think anyone believes your lies?
Raiden, get out of here!
That's one thing I think is a shame about Fortune. We never actually got to fight her in a proper boss fight. Of course you encountered her earlier on, but you weren't actually fighting her, you were just surviving as long as possible. So I think it's a shame we never got to get a proper fight with her. I'm not 100% sure what this area is supposed to be that Raiden is standing on. I think it's some sort of simulation which Arsenal Gear has created, although I'm not too sure.
Remember the way you used to kill in the old days? Or is it one of the S3 plan's proud achievements?
What are you talking about?
This is where we just go wait around for a while.
When Ocelot discovered the S3 data from GW. Not a bad idea, though. Using fire to fight fire, creating the perfect assassin to retire Solid Snake's brother. S3 stands for Solid Snake Simulation. It's a development program to artificially reproduce Solid Snake, the perfect warrior. The result is a Foxhound Commando. When Foxhound no longer exists, a simulated Solid Snake shaped by VR regimen. Sound like someone you know, Jack? I'm sorry to see you reduced to one of the Patriots' puppets. But I've made use of you, and their plan too. Solid Snake's sudden appearance, your arrival. It was obvious the Patriots were among my ranks. I had to smoke out the agent before the mission entered the final
Although
phase.
the Patriots
You
weren't
came in
responsible
handy
for Snake showing up.
as bait. Jack, those days during the Civil War were as real as they come. Every day was absolute, split between life and death. You ran from it, and now you've been led back to war by something less than real. No more games, Jack. At least you know. There's no reason to keep you alive now. I've given you a worthy opponent, at least. But now, you should die as the little Jackie boy I once knew.
This was another really mind-blowing thing as a kid. In the first game, it was really crazy when you had to fight Metal Gear Rex, but then in this game you have to fight 3 Metal Gears at once. So as a kid, I was like, whoa, this is intense. Okay, before we begin, Colonel has a lot of pretty amusing things to say.
Actually,
We already heard that one earlier. He does have some new conversations only available during this boss fight.
I was a North American fall redworm in my past life. Oh, those were the good old days. What were you in your former life?
I think we already heard that one earlier. I can't remember. I played it yesterday, so...
Lolly Lule Low. Lolly Lule Low. Lolly Lule Low.
A lot of people are confused by that. They don't understand why some people say Lally Lele Lo. I can't say it quite right. But it basically means patriots. Certain people have nanomachines in them, and it prevents them from saying the words patriots, because the patriots don't want everyone knowing about them, so they do that with the people's nanomachines.
Home right now. Please leave a message after the beep. Beep.
That's one of my favorites.
Mind the gap. Weapon mode SOCOM level 1. Destroy all targets to reach the goal. Number of targets, 3. I say again, your duty is
That's Metal Gear 2, right?
Zanzibar land and seize Kill Mark, an abducted
Yeah, the first one was
biologist.
Outer Heaven, the second one's Zanzibar Land.
Snake, they've input both detonation codes. The only way to stop the launch now is to use the card key to re-input the codes. That reminds me, I saw Gubiyama the other day in Chibonigi. He said to give you his bets. Snake, take the power plant out. Set C4 explosive on 4 key points to destroy the structure. Snake, destroy the power plant's main turbine.
I'm thinking that might have been in Metal Gear 1 or 2, but I can't remember specifically. I just want to trigger this certain one and then I'll move on. My favourite one. That's it.
Raiden? I'm eating right now. Get back to me later.
Yeah, that one's great. I'll do one more and then I'll leave it.
Snake, like Shakespeare said, naught's had, all spent, where our desire is got without content. Basically, it means that your desire can get you into trouble if you're not careful. That goes for items too. Don't get too greedy, or you might be sorry. Be careful, Snake.
Okay, now believe it or not, Otacon actually does have some useful information here. And well, why wouldn't he? It would make sense. It would make sense for the tech guy to know how to beat the robots.
Aim for Ray's head section with the Stinger missiles. The mass production Metal Gear is unmanned. It's probably under the control of GW, the Arsenal Gear AI. A chaff attack should cause electronic interference and confuse Ray for a moment. Use the opportunity to fire a Stinger into it.
There's no one else we can call. No. Snake is busy fighting Fortune. I don't think he'd pick up. Alright, let's do it. The cool thing about Colonel, of course he's like a robot. Well, he's an AI created by the Patriots. But the cool thing is that they do hint that he's an AI a lot throughout the game. Because his voice does sound very robotic earlier on in the game, especially when he's explaining to you the controls for swimming. It's just one of those things, you kind of mistake it for bad voice acting the first time you play the game, but after you find out this, it all makes sense. And this is one of my favourite boss fights. I just think it's a lot of fun. I hate that attack. That's the only attack which gives me trouble. And on the higher difficulties, this fight goes on forever. It's really hard, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. It's one of those things where I would like to replay the game on higher difficulties just so I can experience this boss fight on the higher difficulties, but that means I have to go through the Tengu soldiers on the, on a higher difficulty, which I can't be bothered to do. And also fighting Olga on the higher difficulties. That's another thing I'm just too lazy to do. I know if you use chaff grenades, it does, I think it stops them from using their missile attacks, but I don't know, I can dodge them fine, so I never use chaff grenades. I mean, there's one missile attack which I have a bit of trouble with, but for the most part I'm able to dodge it. I get hit by it once or twice, but for the most part I'm okay. I forget the exact number of rays you're supposed to kill. I think it's like 10, maybe 15. And obviously the higher the difficulty, the more rays you have to fight. I believe on European Extreme it's something like 50 or 30 rays. It's ridiculous, but that's what you gotta do. And I love every second of it. I think it's only like 10 of them you have to fight on this difficulty, on normal. It's either 10 or 15. Oh, missed. Okay, the water cutter, didn't want that. Yeah, that's actually called the water cutter as well, that attack. I assume it cuts water, makes sense. Oh, nope, that's no good. This fight was really tough when I first played it. Now it's just really, really easy. Like, I can't believe that I used to have trouble with this fight. Come on, heal. What I really like about the boss fight is that it's such a busy environment. It's like you have to multitask, you always have to keep track of all of the rays. And you always have to listen out for the missiles in case one in the background shooting at you and stuff. It's just, you're always doing something in this fight. You're never waiting. And we got a lot of cutscenes before I pick up that controller again.
Decided to show yourself.
Olga, don't do this! They'll know!
I'll hold them off. Give you time to get away.
What about you? This is suicide!
Your nanomachines, they're transmitting your vital signs to the Patriots. If you die, my child dies. You understand?
The child.
I see. So that's why you sold your troops out to me. So many dead, and they all died trusting you! Weren't they your comrades?
No, not just comrades. Family! I know I'm going to hell, but at least my child.
I applaud your attitude. If you have a death wish, I'll be happy to accommodate you. See you in hell!
Olga!
Enjoy the show, Jack. Let's pick up where we left off. What's going on? What's wrong with it?
AI, GW, it's out of control.
What?
I'm reading an abnormal impulse cascade throughout the neural network. I can't shut it down.
What happened?
Maybe some kind of virus.
The Patriots?
I don't know.
Ocelot, what have you been up to?
It's too late. Arsenal's system control is going haywire. It's on an emergency ascent course.
Stupid machines!
So apparently, a rocket launcher to the face won't bring them down. But a few shots with a P90, and they're done. That's all it takes, apparently.
Damn the Patriots!
Not that I really care, I mean, you know, that cutscene is just so cool.
You still have some use.
I've captured Snake.
Snake?
Bring him in.